Teen Wolf lovers, welcome back to the podcast. You, of course, are now listening to Welcome to Beacon Hills, the Southgate Media Group podcast dedicated to all things Teen Wolf related over on MTV. I am Lilith, and as always, is
Dawn! Loving this episode.
Well, in that case, up for discussion today is episode 517, A Credible Threat. 17 down, 3 more to go.
Yes, and then one more season. Which, luckily, we've heard that all the main people are back. So that's awesome.
Spoiler!
Seriously, people didn't want to know that, Dylan O'Brien didn't leave to go for his movie career? I wanted to know that.
Well, there are some people that are very gung-ho for Liam and Mason to take over the show, actually. It's a quite a growing contingency, apparently.
Well, they can all screw themselves. No.
Well, before we get too contentious, let's just talk about the technical specs. We had Tim Andrew, who's a longtime Teen Wolf collaborator, directing. And looky with the wolf drug in. Jeff Davis wrote this episode.
Really? That must be why I loved it. Because it actually felt like an earlier season Teen Wolf episode. It was like a pre-3B.
I thought it was just because of the lacrosse.
That too.
Let's see. MTV press release says that Scott and his pack use a charity lacrosse game and a deadly gambit to figure out the identity of the beast. I say...
Okay.
Parrish fights the beast at the school but loses as usual, as the beast is getting smarter, supposedly. Mason, out of nowhere, fan wakes / deduces that the doctors are using high-frequency radio signals to trigger the beast's shifts. And the pack realizes that the beast may be summoned again at the upcoming lacrosse game, which is getting covered by 3 local TV news stations. Okay.
I have an episode award for that.
Meanwhile, Scott and Styles find Coach Finstock in rehab and convince him to coach the game, planning on having him forfeit the game. However, Finstock refuses to do so, and the game begins. Scott convinces Brett and his sister Lori to help them. With help, Parrish is able to access his Hellhound side, who informs Lydia that it is possessed Parrish when he died during died defusing a bomb. At the game, Kira loses control and injures players before storming off. Kira almost kills Lori, but Scott stops her, unfortunately. Mason and Corey search for the beast human form at the game, while Malia disables the broadcast antennas unsuccessfully, by the way, because she was interrupted by the Desert Wolf. So yeah, the beast shows up and goes on a rampage, and everybody's running for their lives, and that's pretty much where we ended the episode.
Cliffhanger! Really, it's only a cliffhanger if we knew somebody was going to be dying in the next episode, but since we're not going to get that lucky...
I don't know if it was just my copy, but it was just we see the beast scratch the thing, and then it just faded to black for me, so I was just like, okay.
Oh, so you're in one of those that missed part of the ending, too.
Okay. Oh, Teen Wolf is notorious for this.
Well, apparently the Canada broadcast cut out 10 minutes before it ended and then started playing the episode again from the beginning. And then cut to Shannara Chronicles.
Oh, no. I mean, it was 40 minutes and 28 seconds long, my runtime was, so I think I'm only missing a minute 10.
Yeah, you're only missing Scott coming out, looking at the claw marks, and basically saying we're screwed.
Oh, okay, I didn't miss much then. Thank you for filling me in on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like this episode a lot as well. But I'm surprised that Jeff Davis wrote it.
I just think it is a tremendous return to balance. Something we really haven't had since 3B. So actually, it doesn't surprise me that Jeff wrote it because it feels so much like this could just be popped right into season 1. We've got the action, we've got the intrigue, we've got the heart, and hallelujah, we got the humor back.
Well, it's a Coach episode, so, it was bound to have some humor.
Yeah, but I didn't expect it to have humor outside of Coach and Styles interacting. And there was humor all over this one. I was laughing the whole way through.
Very well, then. Let's talk about the highlights. So, what was your most favorite thing of this episode, Dawn?
Coach! Coach coming back is absolutely the best thing that has happened this season. I mean, I just love this man, and every time he's on, I crack up. He brings out Dylan O'Brien, or he brings out Dylan O'Brien's comedic side better than anyone else. And so every time Coach is on, I am either laughing hysterically or at the very least just smiling my head off.
This is a weird week for me because my most favorite thing and my least favorite thing are actually the same thing, and it's overly aggressive Kira slash her kitsune.
Yeah, that one's gonna hit my not my minus side.
No, I mean, I just like the fact that we are showcasing Arden slash Kira with action.
Oh yeah, she definitely got a lot of action, and more than one way.
And it also shows us that Satomi actually trains her pack, and she taught them to speak Japanese.
I know.
He's a good alpha. We have one good alpha in Beacon Hills.
It's amazing. One good alpha who never seems to come around when big things are happening.
That's why she's a good alpha. She knows to mind her damn business. Stay in those woods, Satomi. Don't you ever come back out of there.
Well, I will go one step above that and say, first off, Brett's little sister was fondly nicknamed Idiot Girl after the last time she was been on this show. That was when she was in the middle of the assassins coming to attack them all and she wouldn't shut up. So, she's still Idiot Girl to me. But I will say that the most improved on this entire show is Tall Prep Blonde and Idiot Girl. Oh my goodness. These two rocked this episode. I mean, first off, Tall Prep Blonde has my favorite line in the 9. And Idiot Girl holds her own against a Firefox Kira that nobody else can seem to hold their own against. How in the world did that happen? That's just amazing. So both of these side characters that I never wanted to see again were actually awesome.
Let's see what's next for me. Random Mama McCall moment. Like they're just spreading the Mama McCall love with everybody. She's officially Pac Mom now.
Oh yeah. She's taking in Malia. She doesn't seem to mind that Brayden has her feet on her furniture. Not to mention waving around a shotgun in her house.
She's probably like, can I borrow that? Because I am going to the hospital, aka the second most dangerous place in Beacon Hills after the high school, but before the sheriff's department.
Yes, which is slightly above the woods. Oh, I mean, it's just hilarious. I was like, oh, Mama McCall, she's just like putting down the mountain ash like a pro. We all know mountain ash doesn't work, but that's okay because she's just like doing her part. And then later on, they just randomly pluck her out to talk on the phone with Sheriff.
Like, they know what the fans want.
I'm like, huh? Okay, moving on.
It'll come back in the finale. Don't you worry.
Oh, it won't take the finale to get there. It's coming back with Allison. Which, speaking of, we get a little snippet of Allison with her in the ice bath, and
AKA the moment everything went horribly wrong in Beacon Hills.
Well, apparently not even in Beacon Hills. I mean, also in Afghanistan.
The whole world went. Thanks, Deaton.
So we've got a Nematon connection to every bad thing that happened on the planet. But I did like that it did tie in to Parrish's storyline, and I like that Parrish is dead. Kind of, maybe, sort of. Zombie Parrish.
That's on my list as well, only because that was kind of one of my theories that I've been theorizing is about the Hellhound taking over dead soldiers' identities.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a check mark for me. Marisol Nichols, aka Desert Wolf, was back, and I really actually enjoyed her interactions with Malia.
Oh, absolutely. Every single time she shows up is on the plus side for me. I mean, mostly not because of her, but mostly because Malia's just done with this. She's like, I do not have time for you. Get out of my way. We are in the middle of a, pack plan that isn't at all possibly going to work, but it's a pack plan and I'm doing my part. So, I just love how she's done. It's like, okay, fine. If you're not going to get out of my way, let's just kill each other now so I can get on with it. She's so matter of fact. I'll add in a very, very controversial part to this. I also like that Desert Wolf figured out that Styles is important to Malia, because that's obviously going to come into play later on.
A Styles napping is afoot.
Yep, very much so. As a matter of fact, I like this part so much that it actually inspired me to start writing fan fiction again.
What?
Yeah. Something I've only done 3 times in my life.
Wow.
There's so many great possibilities for this turn of events that is not ever going to happen. So I'm writing the part that won't happen.
So for me, it was Corey, aka Screamer, with his plan to leave town. Anytime somebody suggests leaving town, I am all for it.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%, but that is actually in my negative part, because seriously, if you like the boy, why the heck are you talking him out of it, Mason? You should be saying, yes, you should go. Please,
Mason is
be
selfish.
safe. He is.
I told you he's flawed. They're showing his flaws now, and I like it, so he's not so sticky sweet.
Oh, I was like, that was a throwing socks moment. I'm like, hey, your boyfriend wants to leave town and get away from the awful death? Please let him. And then I won't have Screamer on my screen. So win-win. All right. I adore that Styles snark is back in full force. I mean, it didn't even take Coach coming. He's already snarking to Liam right from the beginning. I'm like, when he did that, I was like, wait a minute. Styles snark! I've missed you so much, Snark.
Of course, we kind of sort of had a brief shining moment of the whole pack being reunited in the library. It was cut short, but I liked it.
It's on my list, too. I like when they're brainstorming. I think that it's smart. I think the only thing I don't like is that not everyone was there. It would have been better if they had gotten everybody together for it. But I did like that, one, Lydia was there. So amazingly enough, well, see, Malia had to be there for me. And Kira, and those two missing, kind of. Liam was there, and Kira and Malia weren't. So that's the only thing that keeps it for me. But I do love that Lydia is actually there. And I love that moment when every single person in that meeting looks to Scott to make the decision about whether to cancel the game or not. I thought that was fantastic. It showed that they really do see him as their leader. And I was just really, really happy with that. I'll raise you that pack meeting to the pack meeting when everybody's in their lacrosse uniforms.
Without Lydia.
Without Lydia, but Malia's there and Kara's there. So, see, they need to get all 3 women in the same place. I'm beginning to think that Holland has a disagreement with somebody in this pack, and they just don't like being on screen together. Because she's always missing in the middle of the big stuff.
I think that's more of a Lydia is the Laurel Lance of Teen Wolf at this point.
All I know is that, no, she's liked. She can't be.
No, I mean like by the writers. Laurel, okay. Laurel is not liked by the writers on Arrow.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, I just think that one and Scott's whole stirring pro-pack speech and the fact that his wound is now a metaphor for the pack. I mean, it's all just like, oh, now the pack's back.
Roscoe is another metaphor out loud. We're all good.
I just think that it's so awesome that everybody's together, and I just felt so good about the pack in this episode.
Okay, so my feelings on Coach. I have this headcanon that Coach, the reason why he was relapsing, he knows about the supernatural. He's trying to avoid the supernatural
Mm-hmm.
desperately.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I agree.
And it's funny because it's smart.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think he and Science Mom have some history together where they learned about the supernatural in the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe they were making out in Lover's Lane and a werewolf landed on the car. I don't know. But something was going on back then because there's a whole lot of people who know a whole lot more than they're saying.
And they just like to be ostriches and stick their head in the sand.
See, I just don't understand why they didn't leave. That's the best way to avoid all this. But I did also love the scene where Sheriff suggests they get Coach back. I like how he's like, I can't do anything, Styles. What do you mean you can't do anything? You're the sheriff. I can't do anything. Go get the
They'll
coach.
tear me apart.
So I like Sheriff in this episode too. He had very little time. He was kind of like Mama McCall. He was just in for these brief spurts. But I like every scene that he was in.
Surprisingly, this is a surprise for me. Gerard wasn't as annoying as he could have been, and I'm thankful for it.
Oh, I'll raise that up. No one was as annoying as they usually are, with the exception of Mason and Corey. But other than that, Liam was better than he usually is. I was like, what is this strange thing? What is this strange feeling I'm feeling towards Liam? It's not aggravation. It's not annoyance. It's total meh.
So that's the best you can hope for when it comes to Liam.
It is. I mean, he was being a total meh character for like 3/4 of the episode. Tall prep blonde was rocking it. Idiot girl was smart. Gerard wasn't completely freaking annoying, and I didn't want to kill him every second I saw his face. I mean, I don't even know what was going on here. It was amazing. Speaking of tall prep blonde, I have to tell you, the time I cheered the hardest in this after, knowing that Coach was back was when Brett tells Liam not to suck.
Is that a meta moment for you?
It was. And it was meta in so many ways because that is my new motto for all TV shows. Try not to suck or try not sucking. Every time my show goes and does something stupid, I'm now going, try not sucking. And let me tell you, I've said it more than once this week.
Ouch.
I was like, the word of truth.
I actually really enjoyed Sydney because she didn't even need words. It was just that funny little moment with Styles trying to check her shoe, and she's just like, "What is this?" And then she kicks him in the eyeball because that's what you get for being a little creepy like that.
I have that as Styles gets kicked in the head. That's in my positive too. I was just adoring. I was just rolling on the ground, laughing so hard, and then he gets the ice pack. Oh, buddy. See, I just laughed through this entire episode. It was hilarious. Well, let's just go to the reactions that also made me laugh. Scott and Styles' reaction when Liam slams the door shut.
Yep.
They just look at each other like, are you kidding me?
Again?
And then Liam apologizes, and Styles just gives him this look like, just shut up. Oh, it was hilarious.
I like the fact that they had everybody, like, almost everybody.
Yeah.
They had Arjun and Gerard, and they even did like an unconventional pairing by having Lydia involved too. I thought that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's what actually mellowed the whole scene out and like just kind of forced Gerard to be in the background.
See, I hate those scenes, but I thought it was really awesome that everyone was in it too. But more importantly, when they usually try to put everyone in it, it feels overstuffed and annoying. And There's things in there that don't need to be in there. I'm not saying that everything needed to be in here in this episode because they didn't. I mean, really, we didn't need the phone call to Mama McCall. So, but this episode did not feel overstuffed at all. So they worked all the characters in a way that made sense for their characters. And I love that. I love when the plan involves everyone and it doesn't make it feel like they're just trying to throw people in to throw them in.
Well, I guarantee you what that Mama McCall scene was is that it got cut short and something ended up on the editing room floor.
Yeah, that does make a whole lot of sense. I love Styles' reaction to Lydia saying that something bad might not happen in the high school. He's like, it is possible. And he gives that look like, and who are you kidding? And again, I'm rolling through the whole thing.
I found the dialogue to be really good, up a notch from the last like two to three episodes. Just and they really went out of their way to make sure that there were good character interactions. Like I feel like this was one of the episodes that was actually like planned for, not just slapped together.
I have 2.5 pages of quotes for this episode.
Wow.
Yes. Normally, for a normal episode, I have, like for a normal show, I have half a page, 3/4 of a page. For Teen Wolf, I usually have a page to a page and a half. This is 2.5 pages of quotes, and I like the quotes so much that normally I pick the top 5 quotes for Last Week in TV. I have the top 14 quotes for Last Week in TV.
She's like, I like being indecisive. It's okay.
Oh my goodness. I was like, this was awesome. No, this was awesome. No, that was awesome. I mean, almost every single character is in my quotes page, which never happens.
Yep. Any other things you want to talk about in the highlights before we get to lowlights?
Well, Argent is always a plus. Always. I love that moment where they are at the high school following Parrish, and Liam sees the dead body, and Styles doesn't move until Scott looks back at him and gives him the head nod, saying, "Yeah, we can move forward here." It's just one of those little bromance parts that I just adore. And I like how they put them in and they don't have any words. And as a matter of fact, there are a lot of great bromance moments for Scott and Styles that don't include any words, like before they go to get Coach. And I was just like, this is my bromance. This is my favorite bromance on TV right now. And I think the reason why is because it was so shot to hell earlier. That I'm just always excited when I see something like that. Biggest positive surprise, lacrosse wasn't a horrible distraction. It actually worked into the story. It had some humor in it, and it wasn't overbearing. And this is the first time that lacrosse has been a good thing since season 3.
Well,
Because
no, there was no slow mo, no Pantene or Fruitrice commercials in the middle of it.
yes,
The music wasn't as obnoxious as it could have been. They really
true.
did focus on like lacrosse instead of like the drama of lacrosse.
Well, and they made it part of the characters and what the characters were doing. The lacrosse had a purpose. People were trying to do things in lacrosse that wasn't strictly about lacrosse. And I thought that it worked in well. It reminded me of lacrosse, via season 2. Or even season 1, where lacrosse was actually a kind of a metaphor for Scott being in control or not being in control, depending on what they needed to have happen in the plot. So, but it didn't suck. Lacrosse did not suck, and that's just amazing. And then I have this in my question mark column instead of my plus column, and that is Liam going after Labette. If Labette knocks Liam unconscious or kills him, it automatically moves up to one of my favorite things in the whole entire night.
Well, obviously, Liam's not dead, but yeah.
Oh, no, he's not. But if he comes back and he's just like knocked out and then it becomes one of my worst things of the night. It was stupid, but it could have great consequences. I think Liam in the hospital should be next episode.
Oh, you just saying that so we get a shot of hot dog.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that because I don't want Liam's mouth to be open anytime in the next episode.
Yikes.
Actually, I don't want him in the next episode, period. So
Well,
he
Theo
could
was
be.
missing this episode, so
I
maybe.
know. Ah, maybe. I don't know. But yes, lots of fabulous things, but mostly the humor.
All right, let's move along to lowlights.
All right. This episode was not everybody's favorite, not even close. And if you are a Stydia shipper, then it probably wasn't yours, because one of the worst things about this episode is that there is zero follow up to last week. Last week, Lydia has a hole in her head. She can barely move. She's out of control. And this week, she's perfectly fine, sitting there planning with everyone. I am not a Stydia shipper. I don't want those two together. I'm not really a shipper at all. But there should have been at least some follow up to such an intense, emotional episode. She shouldn't have been fine.
To quote Jeff Davis, it's a stupid show about teenage werewolves. What do you want from me?
Some follow up sometime for some of the main characters. For me, this is not as much of a big deal as Void Styles having zero follow up in season 4, but it does seem jarring if you watch it back to back.
I totally agree, but that's not even my biggest thing with it because, like I said, it's Teen Wolf. I'm kind of used to this kind of thing. Um, it's no Theo. Like I don't know. Like I missed Theo. Don't judge me.
I am judging you. No. I'm good with not having Theo in this episode because I think he would have made it too packed. But I do like Theo, so I don't know.
Because the Beast graphics just hurt my soul, man. Those special effects hurt my soul so much.
We do still have a problem with Smokey, but
Smokey the Beast, really?
yep. So yeah, I think actually one of the reasons why I'm okay with not having Theo in this episode is because it means we don't have douchey Tracy either.
We haven't seen Tracy in a while.
Wasn't she in the last one?
I mean, she didn't really have words, though, did she?
No, she had Venom. I don't know. My second biggest problem with this episode also has to do with Lydia, and that is they are sidelining Lydia with Parrish again.
Yep.
Lydia needs to actually be in this pack, and to actually be in the pack, she has to physically be where the pack is present. Please, let's fix that.
Okay, yes, I totally agree. Like, she wanders off, nobody says anything. We don't even get, like, a prerequisite text. Oh, Lydia is with Gerard and Chris handling, like, really? Okay.
I assume somebody did that at some point, but the product placement people did not put enough money into this episode.
Oh, we got enough of that product placement last episode, so they were like, it's every other episode from here on.
Well, we got the Mason product placement phone there, but I'm thinking maybe it was does Lydia have a competing company's phone? And I don't know.
The refrigerator thing. I'm just like, cool story, bro. I don't believe you.
Parrish backstory, yeah, all of that was a negative for me. I don't care. I just simply do not care anymore. I was excited that Parrish might be dead, but now he's not dead, so now I'm not excited. So, like, whatever. Moving on. Go away.
No, let me tell you, I didn't watch until like Thursday the first time, and like I saw on Twitter, Parrish gets fridged, and if you're a fan of like comic books or TV tropes,
right,
that is a trope about women or what your
mm-hmm.
significant other getting like killed for man pain or superhero pain. So I was just like, he's dead? Yeah. Then I watched it and I'm like, that's what they meant.
Yeah, I didn't care for any of the Parrish stuff. But I do think you should put some clothes on, because I really am tired of seeing his chest. Like, seriously, buddy, just go on Magic Mike. Take that
You're
somewhere else.
about 12 other people.
I know. Everybody wants to see half-naked men in this show. I don't. Get some clothes. Come on, bud. Speaking of that.
Are you going to bring up Kira?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Of course I am. Not only do I not want to see Parrish's chest, but I don't want to see Kira's underwear. And more importantly, I am so very, very, very sick of the random sex scene just thrown into an episode for no reason whatsoever.
It's not for no reason. It's for the drinking game / bingo.
My bingo does not have naked on, well, it does say someone shirtless. But other than that, it does not have sex scene anywhere on it.
Well,
it will
the
never
official
have
Team
sex
drinking
scene on
game
it.
does.
Oh, no. It's pointless. We had pointless little kid sex last episode. Now we have pointless, slightly bigger kid sex this episode. I don't need any more kid sex. Just stop. And I certainly don't need the underwear shots. I don't want to see Kira's underwear. She's a kid. Stop pointing these people out. Ugh.
And side note, black socks. Really, Kira?
Okay. I did not notice the color of her socks.
Oh, that
I
GIF has
noticed
been
her
going
flaming
around
eyes.
Tumblr all week.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I had a huge problem with the Kira thing. Because, like, Scott, your girlfriend's out of control again and you're still not going to say anything to a mother? I know you. And P.S., what Asian parent lets a girl lets one of their boyfriends or girlfriends spend the night? I don't think so.
It's not even Asian parent. What teen parent? Come on.
Oh, I know people
I
in
do
high
not.
school that had that luxury. Ugh.
I do not. I am from the Midwest, and in the Midwest, we don't let our teenagers sleep with their boyfriends in our house.
I don't think Nishiko's a cool mom, is all I'm saying.
No. No. And it's not like they seem to be super stealthy about it. Nobody on Team Wolf is super stealthy in this episode. All right. Another thing on my negative list. Wonky werewolf powers. They're all in the library. They couldn't smell a bleeding out Parrish like 2 aisles down. Really? Really? Please stop setting up Parrish and Lydia. That's squicky. That's beyond squicky. So please, just knock it off.
That is a minor thing for me. But that just goes to the fact that they are trying to really push that whole marriage thing, and it's annoying. It's dragging the character of Lydia down a little bit.
Very much so.
Let's see. What else didn't I like? Liam's an idiot. Okay, there's a beast on the rampage coming towards you. You're about to out yourself as a werewolf. Really?
Mm-hmm. That really bothered me the first time I watched it. But this is now the 3rd time I've seen this episode. And now I'm like, you know what? Does it really matter that Liam's wolfing out when there's a big smoke beast on top of the bus? I think everybody's going to figure out that something's just wrong.
And then on top of that, he's just charging into the situation that he can't possibly win.
Well.
And if he did, I would literally quit Teen Wolf.
Well, yeah, so would I. Well, I am actually going to defend Liam here. Because not one thing in this whole plan or this whole smoke beast thing is making any sense whatsoever. Because let's think about this plan from the beginning. It all hinges around a bloody shoe. So it assumes A, that whatever kid had the bloody shoe is wearing the same shoes. How many teenagers do you know have only one pair of shoes? Yeah, that's the first problem. B, it assumes that anybody in human form is going to look at their bloody shoe and not either A, throw it out, or B, scrub the sucker with bleach. So, the plan itself just totally and thoroughly sucks. The second part of the plan that completely and thoroughly sucks is that they're missing the other part of the 5 questions. They don't know the who, they do know the when, and they do know the where, as Liam said. But they are completely forgetting the how. What good is it to get the beast there if they don't know how to stop it to begin with? Plus, Parrish is nowhere to be found. So, why was this a good plan again? I just don't get it. I don't know.
They're
So at
only
this
allowed
point,
one good plan per season, Dawn, okay?
I mean, it's a plan that's based on faulty logic, assumption, and no actual follow through ideas.
Did you mean welcome to Beacon Hills?
So, in all honesty, Liam chasing the beast is the least of the plan worries.
I guess.
He's an idiot, but the whole plan was idiotic. So, hey.
Bulls rush in, so yeah, Liam's living up to his thing.
Let's talk about Liam a little bit more. Hayden, you screwed it all to hell because Liam was meh. And then you go and turn him back into a super special snowflake. Really? You killed it. I was actually not hating Liam. And then you had to go give your little pep speech so that he could be the super special snowflake of lacrosse. Seriously.
Speaking of lacrosse, okay, this is like 2 or 3 things in one, but okay. How do you enter? Okay, you're in front of Beacon Hills High School and you're talking to a Davenport prep student, and he drops the A bomb in the middle of daytime TV.
I assume that got cut. I assumed it wasn't live.
As a production assistant, once upon a time, you actually tell people not to say it. That you give them the rundown before you interview them.
Yeah.
A mess.
Well, if we're going to go with that, then we might as well go with what the heck? This is my biggest what the heck. First off, a gazillion dead bodies are found in a bus at Beacon Hills High. So, what are you talking about? There's no grounds for canceling the game.
But wait, we know that the Dread Doctors and or Parrish cleans up after the supernatural, and this was the beast occurrence. So Styles didn't make mention of that to his dad either, so...
Okay. Well, that does make sense then. All right. Then I'll just go with a different part. Different perspective. In all the times there were dead bodies in the hospital, the woods, the sheriff's office, and the high school, we have seen police come, or news people come, approximately 4 times. Now that we have a high school lacrosse game, we have all the media in the Tri-County area. Really? But none when there's actual dead people.
Priorities,
Okay.
Dawn. Priorities.
Oh.
It was for charity, Dawn.
I don't care if it's for charity. You know what? We donate clothes for charity, and we don't have news people coming for it. But I guarantee you, if there was a dead body on the lawn, we would not be able to get into the parking lot. It's just ridiculous. I don't even go. I don't know. Going on with that.
I'm kind of disappointed in Coach for not forfeiting the game.
Really? I wasn't shocked at all.
I wasn't shocked. I was disappointed.
I actually think it's funny. I think it's funny that the only reason that he said that he was going to coach again, the only reason he checked out was just so that he could not forfeit and ruin their day.
Okay, crackpot theory, Coach is a Dread Doctor.
That is a crackpot theory.
Not as crackpot as Danny being a beast or the beast or a Dread Doctor. I've been reading crackpot theories, and I'm like, you know what? Teen Wolf's turned into Pretty Little Liars, where pretty much the crackpot theories could come true. So
I am perfectly fine if Danny's the beast. I am, because at least he'd be back. But yeah, I don't think that it's going to be. First off, Coach is way too cool to be a steampunk scientist. You can't be. I mean, He's too awesome. They're too boring. Coach could never be boring in his life. All right. Stupid stuff that showed up on my screen. All of a sudden, Screamer can transfer his invisibility cloak to Mason? Really?
Harry
What?
Potter reference for the win.
What the heck was that? I don't even get this. Okay, whatever.
Speaking of that, why did he jump after they kissed? Did he have halitosis or?
Oh, that's where all the beast Mason is the beast theories are coming from.
Well, that's been going for quite a while now, though.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with it. I don't think it's true, but I'm okay with it. Because again, gets him off my screen for a while. Because, oh my goodness, you are in the middle of checking bloody shoe prints. I mean, you're on sneaker patrol, and all of a sudden you decide this is a great time to make out, even though, you don't have any information and you're, not sharing that with the rest of the team? I don't know. Seriously, get off the freaking bus and do your job. I'm tired of make-out sessions for no reason. And I'm even more tired of them happening in the middle of crucial events.
What's that saying? Smoke them if you got them, or lock lips if you got them. In this case.
Okay. I don't got any time for you all. As a matter of fact, I fast forwarded through all of your scenes on the second and third time through.
Okay, seriously, what's up with Kira's Kitsune powers going on? Like, okay, we took her to the desert, and so basically by not fixing her or even giving her any kind of homework to fix herself, I just assumed that was just one big RAV4 commercial now. Congratulations.
I think it's still an out to get rid of Kira if they want to. So, I don't know.
It's just getting frustrating now.
Oh, I agree. And other things that are frustrating, Mason figures out crucial information at random times with
After
random
touching
things.
burnt up Corey. Oh, no.
Yeah, what the heck? You are not Styles or Lydia. Sit your butt down. I don't want to hear it. Go away.
That did annoy me to no end. And why did he have to follow him? Like, they could have continued that conversation in the locker room. That's what the locker room is for on Teen Wolf.
Very much so. Awkward conversations should all be in the locker room. If for nothing else, it gives me my bingo point. I was not a fan of the pan in on the body cut in half falling out of the bus. That was just gross.
And poorly done.
Very true. Actually, as was Parrish chasing Smokey out of the bus, and the whole time I was just going, too bad CGI monsters. Go for it. Run right off my screen. Keep going.
Oh god, the sound effects. They're so terrible. Sounds like an elephant and a horse making out.
I'm not even sure what that would sound like, but it sounds like that would sound horrible.
And who the hell put Chris Argent on sleeping Parrish duty? How dare you? His skills and talents could be used elsewhere.
Well, yeah, I don't know, making a plan that works.
We could have just put a tracker on him, no? I'm sure we have a magical tracker. Something of that sort.
Well, just put it on his underwear, because that's what he's always in. So right into the band there. Well, and I also don't know. I mean, he obviously has to leave his house some way, so you have to be in the bedroom with him? I don't know. This is weird.
It's not even the bedroom. He was on the couch. Okay.
That's true.
Parrish totally violated bro code. Like, what? Like, you could have kept your shirt on, dude.
No kidding. That's what I was saying.
Total violation of the bro code sleepover.
Oh, just stop being shirtless altogether. You're driving me insane. It's like he's practically known for being shirtless at this point. Like, really? Oh, please go away. Well, that is all I have on my negatives.
You're not going to bring up the fact that Coach has better insurance than Sheriff?
Oh, I have that in an award.
Okay, because that was a big what the hell for me. Like, really?
It wasn't even that. It was canon. So,
Yes, because the teachers are even worse than this shit.
and actually, teachers usually have the best insurance around,
Not in
but
Teen
not in
Wolf.
Beacon Wall, not in Beacon Hills. So, yeah, that's actually its own little award for me.
Let's mosey on over to some listener feedbacks and whatnots. I assume you have some Twitter peeps you want to shout out.
Oh, I do. And I had to tell you, I put more people into my live tweet list this time than I have all season long, including 5A, because they were just hilarious this time. I laughed so much. It was so hard to narrow things down. So, lots of new people making the list. And if you are a live tweeter, then please let me know so that I can put you on the list as well. Here we go. At Clone Poster said, "There is no Jordan, only Zool." I'm sorry, I just love 80s references. At Daniela Arlina said, "Desert Wolf, I prefer mom. Me, and I prefer you dead. Looks like we both haven't gotten what we wanted." I like Desert Wolf, but yeah, I see where you're coming from. Gideon Emery, who plays Deucalion, who was not in this episode. Another plus. So, and by the way, it's pretty awesome that he live tweeted an episode he wasn't even in. So kudos off to Gideon Emery. Love it. He says, "No one dies tonight. I so want to believe you, Scott." So do I. So do I, sir. My favorite new person, and the person who made me laugh not only through Team Wolf tweets but also Shannara Chronicles tweets, was Ario F the Hub, ARIOFTHEHUB, and he said, "Clearly, the only way to kill the beast is to trap it in Beacon Hills High School forever. Everything dies in there eventually." Very true. At MTV Team Wolf said, oh, and this was about Kira going all Firefox, said, "I guess Scott didn't come through on Valentine's Day." I have to say that of all the official tweets that we get, that's my favorite one. Um, at Not Another Teen Wolf podcast said, "Scott forgot about lacrosse. What a coincidence. Me too." I wish we could have forgotten about it forever, but it was actually good this time. And our standby person who's always in these, at Teen Wolf Talk, said, "I would say Arjun is a good babysitter, but he did forget Isaac in France. So," and then at Mini Studia said, "I'd rather watch the coach in rehab for 7 months than learn and watch about Parrish's storyline." Me too, honey. Me too. And then my last one is at Catherine Liz, who posted an Anchorman gif of that says, "Well, that escalated quickly," and then she put this whole episode. It did. It very much did. And those were my favorites. There were lots and lots of great ones in this episode.
I love that scene. Awesome. No email, but I can tell you guys my favorite reviews, and I have something from Reddit that I think will resonate with most of the listeners here on the podcast. So for my favorite, of course, you guys know TV.com. Prettiest Captain over on Tumblr had me rolling. I love photo recaps because sometimes I just don't like to read. That's why I like Instagram. And of course, Den of Geek rocked this whole episode's review. So those are my three picks. And over on in Reddit land, there was somebody that made a diagram that basically proves our theory that all things are Gerard's fault. Yeah, it was funny, and the comments in that thread is really great. Let me Oh God, it's buried now. I'll put it in the show notes so you guys can see it. But yeah, it just kind of confirms what we all know. So yeah, that's pretty much all we have for you guys this week. So time for some shameless plugs and self promotion.
Except that we didn't give the grade or our
Oh,
own
damn it! Sorry.
or
Sorry.
our own episode awards or go over any of the standard episode awards.
Sorry. I've got a fuzzy brain today. Okay, let's move over to episode awards then. Um, let's talk about our favorite scene.
All right. My favorite scene by far is Scott and Styles talking Coach out of rehab. I laughed the whole way through, which is awesome.
My favorite scene is Kira Kitsune in action.
Ooh.
Cause she's good. She's getting better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, she was pretty awesome. That got my best action. Firefox and Idiot Girl Who Holds Her Own was my best action award.
So what was your favorite line?
My favorite line is Brett telling it to the world. Try not sucking.
For me, it's Coach. I should have stayed in rehab.
That's on the list of 14 as well. Along with the entire conversation about cancer.
Yes.
Styles.
Or again. What? Who even asked that question?
I like how Styles is like, deeply against. That was immediately followed by Styles. Coach, you're in rehab. You didn't have a lobotomy.
Yes.
That
Um,
was awesome.
who was your favorite character this week?
You go first.
This is a toughie. Minor side character, I think Corey was a great improvement. He wasn't as annoying as he usually was. But the big thing for me this week, it was all about. This is a toughie.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just go ahead and give it to Scott.
Okay. Then I'm going to give it as a tie to Styles and Coach. Because both of them brought back the most needed humor.
You know, I would take logic over humor though. But since we're never gonna get that back.
Not me. You can have the goofiest plan you want as long as I can make fun of it.
Best character interactions.
You can go first.
It's a tie for me. Styles and Coach, and Malia and Desert Wolf.
Yep, those are my two also.
It's kind of a no-brainer, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, both of them, whichever one you didn't say was the one I was going to say. So.
um, so I think that covers all the standard ones.
Except for MVP, most memorable moment.
I thought we just did moment. Oh, my brain is so fuzzy. I'm sorry. It's Sunday. Most memorable moment.
My most memorable moment is when everybody at the team pack meeting was looking at Scott to decide whether they were going to go forward or not.
My most memorable moment was the look that Styles gives, and as well as Scott when Liam slams the door, because they were just like, "Man, we try to include you in these things, and you do this every time."
That was also in my moments. I had lots of moments in this one. What was your MVP?
I'm gonna give it to the writing. The pacing was on point. It was pretty tight for a Teen Wolf story. They managed to get everything in there: humor, action, some seriousness, and plus they've worked in Mama McCall, so I'm always good with that.
I was going to give it to the writing because there was so many great quotes in this episode. But instead, I decided to go unique, and my MVP is to The Return of the Past. We got all kinds of past stuff in this one that made things better. Style Snark came back. Coach came back. We have mentions of Allison and Peter. We've got that great balance of action and humor and heart. We've got terrible plans that will never work but are fun anyway. We have lacrosse not sucking. It's like basically being in season 1 and 2 again. Oh, loved it.
Awesome. So, how about our grade?
I give it an A minus.
I gave it a B plus. I just want to know who the Beast is. I wanted to know before we got into the flashback episode. I mean, I don't care at the end of the day, but I do. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so annoying. I just need to know.
I don't need to know who the Beast is just as equally as I didn't need to know what Parrish was. I don't care anymore.
I mean, the fact that when they drug it out, I just stopped caring about Parrish. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I want to know if my theory is right. All I care about at this point. Because okay, this is the season of theorizing. Because if you watch Arrow, you want to know who's in the grave. If you watch Flash, you want to know A, who Zoom is, and now B, who the hell is the man in the mask. And then Teen Wolf, who is the Beast. So,
Okay, that works. And what exactly is your theory
about who the Beast is, or
about who the Beast is? I don't care about the Arrow one.
who the Beast is. I like the Mason theory, but I know that it's not true. But for me, I want to say that it's a resurrected Jean Marie Vallée,
Hmm.
because she looks like Allison, and I think that that would be like a really huge emotional thing for the main trio of the pack.
Hmm.
I like that theory a lot. But at the end of the day, it just might be Sydney.
I was thinking Sydney, but at this point, they made a big deal of showing her not anywhere near that bus. So I don't know. I I would have been saying Sydney going in, but now I'm not sure. It's definitely not going to be Mason. That's too obvious. Team Wolf doesn't do obvious. So and then I my real problem with old Allison as being the Beast is that then it turns the hero who killed the Beast into the Beast.
And
And I'm not
that's
a
a good
fan of
trope,
that.
old trope too, though. And
Yeah, I'm
Teen Wolf
not a fan of
loves their tropes.
yeah, so I'm just not a fan of that. I would rather that one of the females on Team Wolf channels their inner early Argent and slays the beast
You
again.
know, a girl with a stick, very Buffy esque.
We know a lot of girls who could do it on this show, and I want them to be shown doing it. I want not doing it, by the way, but because that's been annoying all along. But I want to see. I don't want Scott to take down the beast.
I think it should definitely be a pack effort because we've made
Oh
this
yeah.
whole deal about breaking the pack apart and bringing them back together stronger than ever. And I think
Mhm.
everybody in the pack should definitely have a part to play.
Oh, I agree 100%. I just want the actual physical slaying of the beast to be somebody channeling their inner Allison Argent.
Well, maybe it all comes back to when Allison used to take Lydia out while she was practicing her archery.
I think Lydia is a great person to do that because all along throughout this entire season, they have been telling us that Lydia is the key. Lydia is the key. Lydia is the key. If Lydia is the key simply because she can, foretell death, I'm going to be incredibly disappointed. I need her to have a more active role in that.
I think also the key, a key of this thing about Lydia being the key has to do that she was with the Argents this episode and
Mm-hmm.
trying to work it out with the Hellhound. I mean, yeah, nobody else was left, but she was really close with Allison, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of bummed that they kind of didn't like exchange a few looks between Argent and Lydia. I mean, not like shippery looks. Maybe that's why they didn't do it because our fandom is ridiculous. Any
Well,
little
no
thing and they'll
kidding.
ship it.
Well, it doesn't even have to be any little thing. I've been doing a lot of videos on YouTube for Team With Now, and this fandom ships people who have never been on screen together. Like, never. Weren't even on the show at the time when this person come in. I mean, really? What the heck? Isaac and Malia? Huh? I
She
don't even get
strangle
it.
him with his scarf, and that's all that I would ever need.
I just don't get it. This fandom takes shipping to a whole new imaginary level.
It's because nothing ever makes sense, so why should we?
Okay.
Kidding, of course. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have for you guys. I'm really looking forward to these last two episodes, three episodes.
Do you have any of your own
Mm-mm.
episode awards?
No, no, no. So yeah, shameless plugs now.
All right. My let me start over that. The best way to get me is on Twitter. I'm at Dawn1. That's at DAHNE1. You can also reach me at my blog, which is dawn1.blogspot.com, or on Spoiler TV. My email is dawn@spoilertv.com, so if you ever want to shoot me some feedback, especially if you don't agree with what I'm saying. Also, I write a weekly column called Last Week in TV that comes up on Mondays on both my blog and Spoiler TV. I also do the Teen Wolf Bingo, and that is every Monday about 30 minutes before, or every Tuesday about 30 minutes before a new episode airs. This week, I got Teen Wolf Bingo, and so did Mary Marino. So if you're doing it and you haven't told me if you've won or not, let me know so I can shout you out on the podcast. Also, you can find me at Redshirted, the 100 Podcast, a new podcast for SouthgateMediaGroup.com, where we have loads and loads of podcasts. So go check us out there and see if we've got another one that you might be interested in.
Very cool. You can find this podcast on Twitter at Beacon Hills Pod. You can write to us via teenwolf.smgpod@gmail.com. Or you can just like us on Facebook, facebook.com/welcome to Beacon Hills. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. If you're on Tumblr, it's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com. If you're on Reddit, you can just send me a message. It's just Lilith Hellfire. And yeah, that's pretty much all I want to pitch outside of Channel 52, which is a Southgate Media Group podcast dedicated to all things newsworthy in the DC Nation. So if you like DC comic books, whether it's TVs, movies, or the actual comic books and stuff like that, be sure to check that out. And the Supernatural podcast, the Winchester Report. I think that goes kind of hand in hand with Teen Wolf. Yeah. I have a really cute young co-host, and she's so passionate about Supernatural, and she's basically the embodiment of the younger side of the fandom, and it's just been really fun whole season podcast. Jenny Rock. So please check us out.
All right. And thank you so much for listening to our podcast of episode 517. It is 517, right?
Yep.
Sorry, I have all of I have 14, 15, 16 and everything on the same sheet that I'm looking at, so I was off into a different one. All right, here we go. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast of episode 517. We love hearing from you, so don't forget to hit us back with some feedback. And until next week, keep on laughing, because if you don't, dude, it's Beacon Hills.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.